was taken out. He was
TNK, the
killed
news
on
kid,
that building just seconds
Underground
after he
Speakers
fired
US.
what
What's
we were
going
told
on?
was
They
several
just tried
fatal
to kill
shots
Mr.
toward the
Trump.
president, toward the
Let's see what's going on.
crowd on the stage. That location is 130 yards from the stage where the former president was located. And the reporting is, and we have not confirmed this, nor has the FBI confirmed this. The reporting is that it was a high-powered semi-automatic weapon, for lack of a better term. And as we've talked to some of these experts like Aaron Cohn before, we know that that weapon has a range of 400 to 600 yards. 130 yards is well in that range. It is highly lethal at 130 yards. There is the video of what we believe to be the shooter who was neutralized, was killed on top of that building.
Okay, now we heard that the shooter was killed. Wow. Must be in his early 20s from PA. Wow. And he was killed right after or during, I guess. Wow.
Valley in Butler, Pennsylvania. And with that, I think it's important to bring in Fox News medical contributor Dr. Jeanette Neshawat to give us an idea, because are you surprised?
Security here, but all he was able to say at the moment was we're still investigating and we're still assessing what specific failures may have led to this moment. And the other thing, Jim, I'll note is that a lot of the questions that reporters had about...
You were a doctor, would you say, yep, all that is
wow, I'm sitting here looking at the video, and a lot of people got this on camera. A lot of people gonna have all the angles. So if whoever did this, they digging into Shorty history right now. They going all through where he used to live, going through his parents' media, going through his friends' social media, going through the colleges he went through there, going through everything right now. And if it comes back to the Dems, this is gonna be crazy.
Had what's called a hematoma, a collection of blood within the ear.
But they own Shorty. They own his ass. Trump, when he left, he freaking acted a fool. He's sitting there going crazy.
To toe for all entry and exit wounds. They probably put in an IV, gave him some pain medicine, started him on some antibiotics.
Trump game banging when he leaving. You gotta see this.
The wound.
Bang.
Had a surgeon or
said,
a
bang.
come
Bang.
and repair the damaged tissue, whether it be internal or external surgical repair with stitches, with sutures, and probably again put him on antibiotics, make sure he has his tetanus shot, and have close follow-up with him. So with President Trump, no, I'm not surprised. He's, again, very tough, strong leader. Not surprised to see this from him, but I probably would want him to take it easy. And
you know how hard it's going to be for Trump to lose the case now? For him to lose the election now? If he lose that election now, wow. I doubt if he lose it now. Let's listen to the story, a little bit more of the story.
In fact, here is a video which appears to show the gunman after he was shot and killed on the roof of a building just a couple of 100 yards away from the stage from which Trump was speaking. You can see it better there on the map. The shooter on top of that building.
What went wrong here? We're referred to the U.S. Secret Service, and at this point, the Secret Service was not at that press conference earlier this evening. The FBI said that a representative was not able to come forward. But Jim, the last thing I'll note is I want to talk about what you had briefly mentioned.
To the public for help.
Whoa, you hear that? One was killed, two others injured. And I don't know if that's including Trump or if it was just somebody at the rally, if it was just Trump voters, but 3 people got shot, I believe. 1 dead, 2 injured.
Our state partners and our local police partners as well. Again, at this time, we are not prepared to identify who the shooter is. We are close to that identification, and as soon as we are 100% confident in who that individual is, we will share it with the press. With that being said, also, we do not currently have an identified motive, although our investigators are working tirelessly to attempt to identify what that motive was.
The FBI was asked for its response to the number of shots the shooter was apparently able to get off. FBI said it is surprising that's possible. Here's part of a statement Trump posted on social media. I was shot with a bullet that pierced the upper part of my right ear. I knew immediately that something was wrong in that I heard a whizzing sound, shots, and immediately felt the bullet ripping through the skin.
Whoa.
We are seeing the first video of Donald Trump since the shooting. Trump campaign's deputy communications director posted a video.
Trump, he already out there. He's already walking around after the shooting.
Walking down the steps there in New Jersey.
He's already out of the hospital. He's already walking. He's already in Jersey. He's going to continue them rallies, and the people is going to rally behind them because of this. It's going to be hard for the people not to rally behind them because of this. Even some of the Dems on his side because of this. That's what I said.
Captioning it, strong and resilient, he will never stop fighting for America. The White House says U.S. President Joe Biden spoke with Trump earlier on Saturday following the shooting. He has now returned to the White House early from Delaware. President Biden has been calling for unity in the shooting's aftermath. He says he's grateful to hear that Trump is safe and well. Here's the president earlier condemning political violence, calling it sick. Take a listen.
There's no place in America for this kind of violence. It's sick. It's sick. It's one of the reasons why we have to unite this country. We cannot allow for this to be happening. We cannot be like this. We cannot condone this. The Trump rally was a rally that he should have been able to be conducted peacefully without any problem. But the idea that there's political violence or violence in America like this is just unheard of. It's just not appropriate. Everybody must condemn it. Everybody.
See, that's Danny Freeman joined.
Yeah, I'm sorry to say it, but it seems like the Dems tried to pull something off, or somebody at least. He must have been a Dem. They tried to pull it off. They tried to get him, couldn't get him. He's still around.
An incredibly long way to go, Jim, in this investigation. And really that press conference gave us really our first idea of just how massive this investigation is going to be. Not just because there's going to be the federal aspect, as you've been noting, that the FBI, are officially calling this an assassination attempt. And I'll just note that while we've known this since, of course, the moment happened, hearing it coming out of the special agent in charge's mouth earlier this evening is still just difficult to hear. But also the Pennsylvania State Police, they're investigating the homicide of that rally goer and also
like
two other rally goers who at this time are still in a critical condition. But Jim, to get back to your initial question and point, the two biggest questions, of course, how in the world could this have happened? And then who was this shooter? At this point, we know that the shooter was killed by the U.S. Secret Service, but the FBI is only saying that they have a tentative ID and they're waiting on biometric confirmation to before they actually put the name out. And it actually seemed like they very much do want to put the name out because they want more information about this person so that they can actually begin to answer some of the questions like, what was the motive? But they said at this point, it's just too early to tell.
Wow, I'm looking at the video now, and you got the cameraman, and everybody's, in a panic. And the Secret Service actually had to point the gun at the cameraman and at some of the rally goers because they frantically moving towards the press, so towards the former president. And they are pointing the guns at everybody. They was finna shoot anybody that looked suspicious and looked hot. This is crazy.
That. They also said, the FBI said it's too early to tell how long this shooter was perched on that roof before he opened fire. And then also they said it was too early to tell for sure whether or not this was a lone wolf, though they did say they believe the threat at this point has been neutralized. But then, Jim, to the question that a number of reporters were asking this evening, all to the effect of how in the world could this have happened, we still don't have a lot of answers at this point. I asked specifically, Jim, the FBI special agent in charge, was this a failure of security, which seems, of course, to be a massive failure of...
This was a massive failure of security. The kid got to the roof that was to the right side of the president. For him to get to the roof with the equipment, and what it looked like he had on some type of gear, all black gear. So it looked like some type of army gear with some bulletproof vest or something he had on. For him to get up there with all that, it had to be somebody else that helped this kid do this. We finna figure out what's going on, how did it happen, who did it. We're going to figure this out, but it's all unraveling now, and it's all the information coming out quick. But I will get it to you. TNK, the news kid, Underground Speakers US. We'll be back with part 2. Thank you.